Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. And thank you very much, Dr. Tan Huilin, for the nice introduction. Actually, all the earlier work is just before, and now I'm just focusing more on my social charity work with Yayasan Kurang Upaya Kelantan, or Kelantan Foundation for the Disabled. I've prepared my notes in Bahasa because of the crowd, but then I will try my very best to do it bilingual as have the other earlier speakers. The title of my session is People with Inherited Disability, Magnitudes and Roles of the NGO, ataupun peranan NGO kepada keluarga yang mengalami ketidakupayaan keturunan. Okey, sebenarnya, apakah peranan NGO terhadap golongan orang kurang upaya? What's the general role of NGOs as far as the disabled are concerned? Generally, throughout the country, you will find that they are involved in providing rehabilitation for the OKU, pemulihan untuk orang kurang upaya. And then kita menyediakan pusat harian ataupun pemulihan to have a day center or a rehabilitation center, dan juga berperanan sebagai penyedia perkhidmatan kebajikan dan sosial to provide more of welfare and social services to the disabled. And then mengenal pasti peluang perkhidmatan sukarelawan to find opportunities for volunteers to do a little bit of work, to work with those who are in need. Mereka juga, NGOs juga membantu dalam memberikan perkhidmatan kepakaran dan sokongan in terms of getting to them professional help and support, and also untuk to try and find work opportunities, peluang pekerjaan. Siapa kami? Mungkin ada ramai yang pernah dengar yayasan, tetapi sekiranya ada sesiapa lagi tidak pernah dengar yayasan. Siapa kami? Kami adalah sebuah badan amal, an NGO yang dah ditubuhkan bagi meringankan beban yang dialami oleh mereka kurang upaya dengan harapan agar mereka dapat mengecapi hidup yang lebih bermakna melalui kaedah pemulihan dalam community. So basically, we are an NGO and we are hoping to improve the lives, the quality of lives of the disabled people. Our role, specifically at YOKUK, what we do is we improve the lives, we hope to improve the lives of the disabled. Secondly, we menjadi pemangkin dalam membina masyarakat, so to try and be a catalyst to try and get between the community as well as the OKU. So we work with the community, such as with the universities, such as with the agencies and other people, but working with the OKUs as well. We also, as a badan perantara bagi OKU, mendapatkan rawatan, pemulihan, khidmat kebajikan daripada badan sukarela jabatan atau agensi kerajaan. We are also like an in-between, where we work with the OKU to try and get them the right treatment, for example, because the first thing that we might do is to assess, do they need medical help? So if they need medical help, quickly we run to Prof Hans. We say, okay, Prof, what do we do? No, but seriously, because a lot of the people that we go and meet are way out in the village areas, and ramainya tak pernah pergi ke hospital, tak pernah berjumpa doktor dan seterusnya. Lepas tu mereka juga mungkin tidak mengetahui yang bahawa mereka harus berdaftar dengan JKM. They don't even know that they need to be registered with the welfare department, because they have rights. If they have got an OKU child, they can get certain benefits and things like that, but many of them don't even know that. So we are like a, like a coordinator, facilitator, but sometimes we just call ourselves like a one-stop center for the OKUs. Yeah, we work also with sometimes in terms of trying to get them jobs through the Jabatan Tenaga Kerja, so whichever agency that can provide help for the OKU. We also act as a resource center in terms of like what we're doing now with USM in terms of this genetic grant. We've also got a few other projects that we've been working earlier, like with the PD case with Prof. Hans, where we were trying to train up some of the resources for the PD case. Jadi kita menjadi sebagai pusat sumber untuk kajian dalam bidang pemulihan. Dan juga menjadi pusat latihan, a training center. We have, in fact, like earlier this year, we did train the trainers for conducting riding therapy. We've got 4 horses at my center. We do a lot of riding therapy. Dan kita memberikan latihan kepada mereka yang minat untuk mengajar atau memberikan terapi kepada orang kurang upaya dalam bidang riding therapy. Ataupun dalam, we had also workshops of training the trainers on hydrotherapy, sensory therapy. We also do work with the spinal injury groups who teach people how to get into the cars while we work with other hospitals. So we do a lot of training sessions with the public, professionals, and those who are involved with the disabled. So what exactly do we provide? What sort of services do we provide at Yayasan? First of all, we have therapy, we have welfare services, we have educational services, and we have palliative care. Palliative care is quite a recent addition in the last 1 or 2 years. We have been around for the last 15 years, so palliative care is still a baby for us. Contoh-contoh terapi fizikal, of course I think all of you are very familiar with physiotherapy. I mean, our facilities are nowhere as good as yours. It's very, very basic. We have got our physiotherapists and occupational therapists at the center to provide these services. We have therapy cara kerja, which is really occupational therapy. And then we have our therapy berkuda. This one you must come over and have a look, because not too many centers do riding therapy. As I mentioned to you earlier, we have 3 or 4 horses that we have to look. They're not cheap to look after and not easy to also look after, because they need the space, and alhamdulillah we have the facilities to provide all this. We have about 20-25 individual students, clients that come to the center for individual therapy, and then we also have about 20 other schools. Some children from the schools come to the center also to look at how, first of all, how they can help to groom the horses, and then some of them will also go for actual riding therapy. That's a picture of, you need to have a few, you have to actually go for various training sessions in order to be able to conduct the riding therapy. Yeah. Then we have the hydrotherapy, which is, of course, as you know, very, very helpful and very effective for those who are disabled. We have to conduct this at one of the hotels that allow us to use one of their pools, the Kat Perdana Resort. So we bring all the clients, our staff there to conduct it. But we are also looking, inshallah, we should be getting in the smaller pool to be able to conduct it at the center itself. But again, it is been very successful. We had many success stories with people who have gone through the hydrotherapy, and it's been very popular with our clients. There you have Maya Karin. She is our Goodwill Ambassador. She is helping to conduct one of the sessions. We also have a sensory room, bilik sensory, to do the therapy sensory, and again we conduct one-to-one sessions there, and then we also, and with the therapy sensory, we also, let you know as well that you're most welcome to come to our center. If you know of your patients who require it, you're most welcome to come to the center also to use it, because we do find that not too many people are aware of it, so sometimes it might not be as utilized as we'd like it to be. We also do sand therapy, because when we go to do our hydrotherapy at the resort, which is right by the beach, we also have some clients that we bring to the beach, and we do sand therapy where we actually bury them into the sand right by the sea edge. and they get some calming effects there. But that one, I need a lot of volunteers. So if you would like to come with us to do some of these sessions, you're most welcome to as well. In terms of kebajikan, welfare, what work we do, one of the things that we do is bantuan social economy. So here we try, because the people that we deal with are, of course, people who really do need a lot of help, and so we try to teach them how to fish, but sometimes not so successful. But one of the smaller projects that was successful was that we provided them, for example, with little chickens, you know, so that, because we know that the member of the family is disabled, and then but the rest of the family is also very poor, and the father and the mother also don't have any work, so things like that. So in this particular family, we provided them a few rounds of chickens for them to grow, and then for them to then sell the chicken, so that they get at least some income. So not just giving them direct funding, but then they also have to also play the role to want to do these kind of things with us. We work with a few other jabatan-jabatan macam Jabatan Pertanian. They will provide the sort of like seeds, you know, the serai. This one is lemongrass, where if any of our clients, the family. So when we say that we're dealing with about 3,700 who are registered with us. It's not just 3,700. It's 3,700 families really, because we get them to maybe grow lemongrass, and then with that money, then they can help their family better. Yeah, so it's not only just helping the child or the family member that is disabled. We also provide khidmat mobil penyayang, which is really a free taxi service. We have quite a few vehicles donated by various corporations, from CIMB, from Pajaya, from the Japanese embassy. And this particular one has got the hydraulic lifts where the wheelchairs can go straight in. So that means kalau daripada rumah dia dalam klien itu dalam wheelchair, dia boleh terus masuk ke dalam van itu, dan kami boleh terus tolong bawa ke hospital contohnya. Ya, jadi perkhidmatan semua yang perkhidmatan kami beri itu memang percuma. Ya, jadi especially this one, apa yang mereka perlu buat ialah just to give us a call, make an appointment, we can pick them up, and then most of them call because they find it quite expensive to go to the hospital. Sometimes from the kampung to get to the hospital is 50 ringgit by taxi. So you can imagine why they will not they just don't come, you know, because to get that $50, 50 ringgit is quite tough for them. So that you can see how the wheelchair, it just goes straight into the van. Yeah? Then, of course, we do the normal things about the kelengkapan dan alat bantuan, the wheelchairs, the artificial limbs, in terms of all the equipment that they need. A lot of corporates come with us to help provide the equipment that is required by those who need them. Membaiki rumah. Okay, I mean, when you go and visit, when we do home visits, when you want to start talking about therapy and you want to talk about controlling the temperature of the fever and things like that, but you see the house, and you see that house, for example, how do you talk about therapy when the house is about to fall? Macam mana kita nak tanya suruh buat terapi 3 kali sehari, angkat kaki, rumah tu macam dah nak runtuh kan, lepas tu lubang pula ke atas tu, lepas tu bilik air ni jauh dan seterusnya. So normally a lot of times we end up doing gotong royong, either we help to repair, or else I will go out to KL. I mean, I live in KL because that's where I raise my funds. Go and find friends or corporates that will say, look, please help us to raise some funds and let's repair this house, because, you know, how can you as a human being see them living in such condition? So we've also worked with like other NGOs like Habitat for Humanity, where we've built houses from scratch. I mean, like we bring the house down and bring them up totally, ataupun kita baiki rumah, yeah? And then bila kita buat benda macam tu, kita selalunya menjemput lah either USM ataupun daripada mana-mana institute, colleges, students. And I even get corporates to come out. Shell has come out, owners of Lamborghinis have come out to go and clean up in the kampungs. Then kita yang gambar tu itu tunjukkan rumah yang betul-betul baru lah, yang kita daripada scratch. Dan penempatan kerja, kami memberikan juga kemahiran menjahit, memasak dan seterusnya. Dan ramai daripada OKU kami dapat kerja. Many of them have got jobs through either they first of all learn the skill with us, whether it is computer skills or sewing skills or various things like that. And then we will help to identify the various agencies who have got jobs available, and then we monitor, and then we try and make sure that they continue it. Yeah. Then we also have a Maisha shop. This is for pre-loved items. And here I really like to appeal to you all. Kalau sebenarnya ini kalau kita ada barang-barang yang mungkin kita dah tak muat, tapi masih lagi okey kan. Lepas tu kita rasa okey lah, kita boleh nak bagi buku-buku ke mainan, toys dan seterusnya. Jadi you let us know, give us a call, we can come and pick it up. Kita boleh ambil dan bawa balik ke sini, dan di sini orang ramai datang beli dan duit tu terus balik ke YOKUK. Sebab YOKUK sebenarnya memang kami tidak dapat grant yang tetap dari mana-mana. Kami memerlukan dalam 600,000 setahun. Tapi macam JKM, dia bagi 5,000 setahun. Jadi manalah nak dapat semua yang lain tu. So, I mean, these are some of the small things that we do. We have the shop. So, maybe like your department, you can gather together and say, okay, today everybody bring your old clothes and shoes ke, dan seterusnya. And then you give us a call and then we can come and pick it up. And then we can then sell it off and then we get funds back into YOKUK. So, just an idea. Pendidikan pula, kami kami ada full-time vocational training untuk remaja-remaja ataupun those who have left school. Sebab sekarang ni di sekolah-sekolah dia ada kelas-kelas masalah pembelajaran sehingga 18 tahun. Tapi after 18 years old, they don't really know where to go. Many of them will just stay at home, and then, what do you do? So there are quite a lot of them. We have at the moment 15 full-time students, and they come and they learn various skills. A lot of them have learning issues, which makes them, like all their 3 R's, they are not, very good about it. But they look pretty okay, and it is really sad to see them just not, being accepted anywhere. So we try and give them skills that are doable. Things like quite a lot of them now have learned how to wash cars, and then we place them at car washes because that is something doable for them. We have found that quite a few of them now like to groom horses. So we are actually getting them to learn how to look after a horse, and then there are also openings in various horse centers where they might like to take some of these students. Of course, we also provide them like cooking skills, laundry skills, things that they can do, but also fun things like music, and then in terms of art and craft, and so they will be doing things like that. Yeah. Then we also have a parent support group that we do every week for all our disabled clients. We have it for the different types of groups. And then we also have, as I've mentioned earlier, workshops and seminars. This is the one I was mentioning you about the penjagaan palliative. This is very new. We are in the process of establishing about 5 units. That means 5 cars will be going out to the rural areas to provide palliative or nursing care to those who need it, especially those who are pesakit yang terlantar ataupun pesakit kanser atau pesakit stroke dan lain-lain. And this is where we're actually opening up some positions for some fresh nurses and assistants, and we have a week before the application closes. But we're also looking for an experienced nurse to come and help monitor the system. We're working this with USM, with Prof. Hans, with Dr. Hisham, and also with our RHPZ. And so if you know of anybody who would like to come on board our palliative care unit, do get in touch with us. As at the moment, we only have 1 unit. 1 nurse goes out and she manages about 30 patients. So if we have like 5 units going out, so there'll be a lot of patients, about 150 that we're targeting towards the end of the year. So this is the project Gotong Royong that I was mentioning to you earlier. This is how the house looks like, real mess before that. And then how when we have cleaned it up, it looks a little bit better, I hope. Other projects that we've been involved in, like trying to get some rice out to the rural areas where the people need some of that. And then also, just to give you an idea of what are the types of disabilities that are registered in YOKUK. So we have learning disabilities, Down syndrome, hyperactive, cerebral palsy, muscular dystrophy. The two figures that I have side by side, one is actually the actual total that I have, adults and children. So learning disabilities, I have 1,000 over registered who have learning disabilities and mental retardation, 482 Down syndrome, hyperactive 44, cerebral palsy 377, muscular dystrophy 11. But the other side is that we have the number of families that we have so far sort of identified who have got genetic hereditary diseases. So at the moment we have actually 34 families who have got learning disabilities, which we are working with Dr. Tego to do a bit more work with them. And we also have those who are blind, 173, spinal muscular atrophy, microcephalus, metabolism disorder, pekak dan bisu. So a total of about 3,800 clients are registered with us. Here you can, I've just given you the sort of rough percentage of the families that are having the genetic disorders. Yeah? At the moment, it's only 63, but I think there are a lot more because earlier we did not focus, before this project, we didn't really focus by family, but by the actual client. So now that we are looking at this project, we will be doing a slightly different analysis. So what is our role for those who are having this situation where there is more than one OKU in the family, and there we've got 63 families. So the main thing that we do with when we identify the families would be we identify what do they need first. Because, okay, you have looked at the internal in terms of the medical side, but we are facing the ones who are already having the disorders or disabilities. So kita mengenal pasti adakah mereka memerlukan keperluan perubatan. That's important because if they need to get to the hospital, we will definitely bring to you all first. And then after that, we look at therapy, kebajikan dan pendidikan. And then kita juga bekerjasama dengan JKM ataupun Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri. So those will be the other things that we will do. And then we might look at the Gotong Royong, repairing houses. But now with this recent grant that we are working with Dr. Tego and USM, which is the Community Outreach for the Promotion of Public Awareness on Genetic Disorders, targeting general public and patients' families between USM and YOKUK. Alhamdulillah, we got this grant, Dr. Tego, finally. And so the main objective is really in terms of education first and awareness, yeah, in terms of to increase the knowledge and also to have programs to increase the awareness and education of the public. So how do we get involved? How does YOKUK get involved in this project? We are involved because we know who are the people out there, and so we are working with USM where we bring the USM team, the medical team, out to the houses. We also bring them into HUSM for their clinic day because a lot of them need medical help. And then we also we do this kind of sessions where meningkatkan kesedaran orang awam, klien dan keluarga berkenaan dengan ketidakupayaan keturunan melalui seminar, bengkel, media massa or media cetak. And so, I mean, this is the first of the events that is being done. And then, of course, I think there's going to be through the printed like books and brochures, and then also maybe media massa, radio, etc. Yeah. And then also, the other thing that we will also want to do is to improve the data collection, the databases of the families in Kelantan. Because seriously, I mean, we have got quite a detail. We've got a lot of detail and a lot of families. But even if you look at from JKM, there's not too much details that we have. When we go to the houses, we actually analyze and find out every single detail, how many handphones, whether their floor is sand, whether their house has got an outback kitchen, everything. So at the moment we do have them, but we're in the process of, together with that project, trying to computerize everything so that later then it can be more meaningful data. And we are also, hopefully after this, having to have some parent support group, because I think these families, when you meet them, I mean, they're families, they need support, you know, they need support from all angles. And then also possibly to work with other NGOs or agencies, you know, and like the family planning people, and to provide them as much help as we can, yeah. So this is some of the visits that we did to the homes out in Kelantan, I mean the outreach areas. This is the clinic day that we recently had with some of the families that have the disorders at the HUSM. And then this was I think they visit seven of the families that had the genetic disorders recently. So that's just as a little bit, you know, in terms of the work that we do and how we've been involved with USM in terms of this project. And I take this opportunity to thank again Prof. Hans, Dr. Tego, and for accepting YOKUK to work with you all on such prestigious projects, and to provide as much help as we can. But the main thing is, I think, to help the people out there, to improve their lives, to give them a better chance, to educate them so that they have a chance. So thank you so much for your attention, and do ask me later any questions. Thanks.